All right, guys, so I think we're live. Let's see. YouTube, let's see. Yep, okay, there we go. Gonna put this link in my Discord channel. And we are live. Okay, good. There we go. Let's see. Hey, Wally, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. Hanifala, I'm doing great. How are you doing? Thank you for asking. Hope you've been well. Good morning to you, Prax. Nice to have you here. Hey, Gary H. Nice to have you here as well. And good afternoon. Yes, if you don't mind hitting that like button, much appreciated. All right. So I'm going to start by just kind of sending out some friendship chips. It looks like we still have about 4 days to claim any presents you may have gotten. So make sure you check all your alternative accounts and everything this week, right? Because you want to get those rewards. If they got sent to you, you don't want to lose them. So make sure you claim them in the next 4 days. Just a friendly reminder there. We're going to claim our daily emeralds, right? Of course, our free skin stones. We got about half a day left of elemental synergy, right? Which is the Titan artifact event. Even though I don't know what these are good for, after you pretty much complete all your Titans, I guess it doesn't hurt to collect these kinds of items. So I'm going to go ahead and get my free 150 Titanite because that's, I mean, it's just clicking a button. So we'll do that for sure. I can complete that later today. Energy spending, I don't know if we'll go all out on that because that will require a little bit of emerald usage. Obviously, I'm willing to spend the 100 because I think that's worth it. But we'll see. Let's see. We're going to spend the 100 right now. Hey, Justin, nice to have you here. Things have been going well. It's been crazy. All right, where do I even begin? So I start classes tomorrow for the new semester, which is supposed to be my last semester, hopefully. In terms of law school, we'll see how things go, right? So that should be good. The other thing is I started a externship position, so right now I'm kind of doing some work for that. And then I have all my requirements to leading up to the bar, right? And then I have to take the bar. So a lot of exciting stuff going on, but that is how things are going. It's been very good. Hey, Mope Slam, nice to have you here. Oh, you are talking about that Chapter 9 quest. Yes, I know exactly what you are talking about. Um, I actually did do it on this account, and I have a video on it. I think if I think we're on the same page here. So I think you're talking about the hidden Chapter 9 quest, which is a great one. It's a great one. So let me see here. I think it's let me find it here. So playlists. It's an older one. I made it about maybe a year ago. I should probably remake that video. Let's see. So it is. I think it's in here. Yeah. So it's this video right here for new players. It's the hidden quest, right, in Chapter 9 with the tooth. I'm thinking I'm going to remake that video, but I think I know what you're talking about. Let me see if I can open it. If my computer will let me here. Yes, you're talking about the hidden Chapter 9 quest that doesn't unlock until you hit, I think, level 50. I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's like right around level 40, 50. It doesn't unlock until then because you're too new to the game to where it doesn't. Um, they wait for players to have been around a little bit. Let's see what happens here. This is not loading for me. Why not? Mm-hmm. Okay, why is it not popping up? But I know what you're talking about. There is that video there. Um, let's see. Minigame. It's not that one. It's not that one. No, man, I have too many minigame videos. Let's see. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. But I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Let's go to my channel. Let's see. Your channel. Search mini game. Should be like one of the first ones I've made. I have a video on it. I promise you. I just can't find it right this second. It might even be in popular videos. It's this one right here. There it is. Okay. So yeah, in December of 2019, I posted this video. Um, it is a good one. I'm gonna probably remake it, but this is when they first introduced actually. So two things happened. They first introduced these like mini games, right? Which now are pretty common. Okay, I don't know why it's having some issues here, but yes, it's this one right here. It's just not wanting to load because I'm opening too many things. I'm going to close it, but it is this one right here. I can remake that video actually, and I'm thinking I probably will, Mopeslam. I think that's a good idea. I will remake that one, but check this video out, Mopeslam, and see if this is correct. I will send it to you directly in Discord if I can. My computer stops freaking out for a second. We'll see. It has been working hard. I've been doing a lot of work on it. I've been probably keeping my computer open a lot longer than normal, but that's okay. I'll probably shoot it to you a little bit later, Mopeslam. But yeah, let me see if that's the same one. I think it is, but we'll get into that. Okay, why? All right, so here we go. Let's see. Hanufla says, I have to say my main account team is great, but countered by Isaac, Aurora, Celeste, Orion, Dorian, and Helios. Yeah, so anything with that ODH combo is very good, but Isaac is definitely going to be a problem for you. My best advice would be to consider getting someone like Yasmin or Dante. They will be invaluable. You can sub it in for Celeste, right? Take out Celeste, put in either Dante or Yasmin, and that will help against those Isaac teams. Will it be perfect? No, but it will help you in the right direction. In my opinion, is if you can add in, again, either Yasmin, because Yasmin deals crazy damage, and if your Yasmin strong enough, it'll be able to take out the Isaac before Isaac can really do a lot of damage. Another option I think that's good, well, you could also do Ching Mao. So I think there's three options you can have to sub in for Celeste that could help your team potentially overcome Isaac, especially if the Isaac is not ascended, right? Ascension is going to be super important here soon. It's not kicking in yet, but the higher up we get in these ascension levels, that'll be a differentiator. If the Isaac is not very strong in ascension, you can probably still overrun Isaac. If your physical attack hero, right, the new one that I mentioned, either it's Dante, Isaac, or Dante, Ching Mao, or Yasmin, right? If one of those three is stronger, then that's something to consider for sure. Good morning, Sue. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. Nice to have you here. Yes, my city is very cold right now. Where I'm in right now, it's actually lightly snowing right now. It's been snowing like pretty much the last like 2.5 weeks. So there's a lot of snow on the ground. It's definitely not warm. That's for sure. That's for sure. Um, awesome. Yes, thank you, Skippy. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm very happy with the progress I made in Winterfest. For those of you guys who might have missed it, yeah, we got Iris up to red level, which is pretty cool. Working on kind of getting her skills up as well. So trying to kind of, get her to a point where I can use her in matchups. But I do think that she's very valuable. I mean, again, I said this yesterday. I'll say it again. In the short amount of testing that I've done so far, I really, really like Iris against magic attackers. Of course, the caveat here is Isaac will also probably counter Iris, unfortunately. Not hard, but I think enough to be a deterrent to using her because I think that, she's a magic attacker. You want to use magic attackers around her. So it might be one of those things that she's great on offense against magic attackers and specific offense tanks, right? We're looking at Aurora. I think she's really good. She's also really good against Chaba, and some of those other, or Rufus. But, that can be tough against, here's with like Isaac, for example, right? Those are tougher heroes to deal with. But thank you for tuning in and from Germany. That's awesome. Um, Thank you already. And yes, vitamin. Yeah, it's very cold for sure. Morning, Johnny. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. Talking a little bit about Iris, right? Briefly. I'm actually intrigued to see how she plays out in the long run. The tough thing is obviously with new heroes, you have so many things to upgrade that it's hard to get her to a point where you can use her effectively, right? Because you can test, but at the same time, it's hard to see how things actually play out, right? So, like, if I were to use, and the other thing is, I really like Iris with Dorian. Like, I think this is just a money making combo because you have Dorian right behind Iris. What that allows for, and you'll see here, I mean, just in this short demonstration, is that let's put in like, I don't know, Aurora and Heidi or something. This is more of like just like I want to show how Dorian helps Iris. Hey Mahibla, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining live stream. But the thing I really like here, you can see on the ground, right? You have the vampirism, and that vampirism also goes to Iris because Iris stands right next to Dorian, which is really huge because anytime she does damage, she needs to deal damage first. So she deals damage, right? And then she heals herself because of that damage. So that's something that's pretty cool. And even when Dorian gets knocked out, um, this skill will still be in effect. So it's kind of a cool thing to have going on here in Aurora, right? Once her soul gets taken out, she's a lot easier for these guys to hit. I mean, dodge still plays a role, but she gets hit a lot more, and more damage kind of gets dealt to her real actual body. So I think this is a pretty cool thing, because Heidi just got knocked out there. But this is just an example of what we're talking about when we're talking about the vampirism that goes into effect. And one thing that I really like about this combination, again, is look, her health has not dropped really at all, because of this vampirism skill. Meanwhile, this two-man team just got taken out, which is a pretty good team, right? Heidi's not a bad damage dealer. Heidi's actually a very good damage dealer, and Aurora is one of the best tanks in the game. But with this, this kind of a combination, it can definitely be a game changer. So something to keep in mind there. Prax says, why are they making Ascension so slow? I have been concentrating mainly on Nebula and Cleaver. Yeah, so Ascension is kind of dependent on a couple things. So Ascension, I'm going to put it this way. So there's a couple ways you can control Ascension within your guild, and there's a couple ways Ascension gets controlled by Hero Wars. So obviously you can attack the boss, right? And I haven't done that at all yet this particular time. So I'm going to do it here on stream, hopefully, if it loads. Do I need to buy any more buffs? No, we're good on buffs. Okay, so we're going to just go ahead and start here. I'm going to use Isaac. What else do I like? I like Astaroth, Martha, Jew, of course, but I kind of think that I want to use someone like Yasmin. And I'm going to use Albus. Now, is this the most effective team? Probably not. I could probably use Nebula here and really have these two kind of, well, okay, we'll do that. So we'll go for it. But I think the thing is, so you can decide on what level the boss is, right? And that can help you with different rewards. And so you could start at 65, which is what a lot of guilds are doing, because it allows you to max out damage. Another thing that you can do is really just make sure you got to make sure everyone in the guild is participating in beating the minions every week, which is totally cool. But I think Ascension is really slow because they don't want you to complete it very quickly. Part of that is they want to make the rewards harder to get. Plus, then you spend more in emeralds. And if you're spending more in emeralds, you're likely to have spent more money. So I think there's kind of a money component involved in Ascension, where You know what I mean? Like they don't want everyone getting everything right away because that defeats the purpose of having a new game mode if you're able to basically acquire every aspect of the game right away, right? People will leave, they won't likely spend more money. So I think it's a strategic move on Hero Wars' part to not have Ascension be too quick, Prax. That's my opinion. I don't know if I agree with it completely, but that's just kind of how I think Ascension is built, kind of similar to pets, right? Pets were kind of expensive at the time, but Ascension's actually even more expensive than pets currently. So something to think about there. Um, hey, Mr. Big, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. Incognito, good morning with the sunglasses, the shades, looking good. All right, so we've been dealing a decent amount of damage here, right? Of course, better than before. We're going to do twins. Let's throw in maybe Cleaver and Jorgen. I would like to have Dorian in here just for his abilities, but let's see what we can do. Let's see, is Dorian available to us? I should probably power up my Dorian. I don't even know where he is. Where is Dorian? Yeah, I don't see Dorian on here. Am I blind? There he is. Not very strong, but I'm going to test it out because I really like Dorian's skill. So we're going to go with that. Um, I'm still working on my team, so it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. Ultimately, sometimes skills trump power in this case because, I want Lars to stick around. Lars is really important for my team. So even if he goes down, right, I want that damage from Lars. So we're going to be able to do a little bit of damage here. Not a ton, but a little bit. Um, Yeah, I mean, with us normally we start the Osh at level 65 every time, but inevitably, a couple of us can take him up to level 130 after one matchup. So it's a little bit it can get a little tough for some people, but it's all part of the game, and I think that's part of how Ascension is built, right? It's built a little unevenly. Um, Okay, so you started at 65 and made it to level 140. That's not bad. I mean, I think that gets you the most rewards, honestly. Even though some of the stronger guilds like to start higher, I think starting lower gets you better rewards. I really do. Um, what is the best way to counter Leanne? Okay, so in that case, if Mr. Brady, if you see Leanne with Jorgen, my favorite counter is to go with Sebastian and Isaac. Isaac counters both Leanne and Jorgen. But Sebastian by himself can easily counter Jorgen. But now you factor in Leanne. Sometimes that's a spam of you know a spam of different debuffs, which can be tough for one Sebastian to take on. So Isaac with Sebastian is my suggestion to a Leanne Jorgen combination. Um, and that's especially if you don't have like a Carc. I'm going to assume that you don't use Carc on your team because Carc can take out Leanne in pretty much two shots if you have enough time with Sebastian. So I'm going to go with you probably don't use Carc yet. So I would definitely go with Isaac and Sebastian. And if you are using Carc, you might want to power up your Carc a little bit more because Carc can actually almost one-shot Leanne after he's pretty much buffed out, which is crazy but totally true. Um, I'm saving up my seer dailies until I get strength or agility. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you're relying solely on free pulls in Ascension, Ascension's going to be super slow, and that's by design, right? Hero Wars isn't stupid. They know that people want to upgrade things fast, so it doesn't always. I mean, you're not going to get to completing things fast, even if you get 50 of a singular type of insignia because you need a lot of these items. Um, so that's kind of my take on it so far. Is that looking at this, um, they want you to spend money on it. If I'm being 100% honest, so I think that's kind of why it's going to be a lot slower and some of the other things, right? I mean, pets used to be the thing, and now they're trying to use Ascension as another slowdown mechanism. I don't know if that's the right word there, but basically they're trying to slow down people from completing too quick and giving people something to look to say, I still need to work on this. How can I get this part done? And the only real way to get it done fast is to spend money, right? Um, I don't think there's another way right now, best I can tell. So yeah, there's that. Um, Astral Seer is a new Titan artifact. Spheres, Emeralds, been definitely the case. Yeah, I think anyone who's playing the game normally, right, and spending things on Titan's artifact spheres to get those totems, the next step is going to be Ascension. Pets are going to be kind of in the back seat currently. I think just because this is a big part of the game. It really is. Uh, I mean, I'm going to level up my tanks here twice. I probably could have just saved those for my warrior branch, but my warrior branch is decent, right? And I mean, one level for 500 seems very costly at this particular moment in time. So I'm not going to do that just yet. I do like my marksman branch because Jew's here. And Jew is my boss slayer. So, I like to kind of mess with that a little bit and upgrade that. We'll stick with that for now. That's not a bad distribution, I'd say. I would like to get these all up a little higher, but it's hard to get that many resources all at one time. So we're not going to stress. We're going to chill with that. Titan Valley's gotten a lot less interesting to me because I can't do as much. Let's see. Guild Island. Well, I will need more gold, right? It's like gold now is a lot more scarce because I need to spend 15 million in Asgard every single week now. So having to deal with that is going to be a process. Um, so we're going to figure that out for sure. I'm going to claim this here. Let's see, airship. Got to do the airship. Super important. Don't forget about airship. Airship will obviously help for those of you guys who are still working on getting your main teams artifacts to absolute. Right, that's super important, and it will play a key factor. It's like a good dual combination. It works in unison with Asgard and Ascension. Don't sleep on these. These do help a lot, especially the main stat artifact, which is usually the third one, I think. But yeah, so any stats you can do for your hero is super important right now because, I mean, this, as Wally said the other day, this really is becoming more and more hero wars, right? Um, it is becoming more and more hero oriented. So yeah. All right, let's see. Yes, thank you guys for hitting that like button. Much appreciated. Use the ODH team, but currently leveling Dante since Isaac is hard to counter. ODH, yeah, no, I hear you, man. That ODH team is great, but Isaac definitely has thrown a wrench into some things for a lot of magic attacking teams. I totally get it. Um, my guild is in Gold League, does max testing for Guild Wars, but sometimes the stimulation is way off. Any ideas? Yeah, so here's what I want to say is don't always rely on max testing, especially when we're looking at Guild Wars. And there's two reasons for that. One is user error. So when you put in the teams for the battle challenge, look at this. So let's say I use the Twins, and I'm just going to go with a pretty well-known team. We're going to go with the Twins, Aurora, Celeste, and Sebastian. The reason I'm going with this team is because it's pretty well known, and there's, in my opinion, a pretty set way of how you should be going about this build. So let's say this is the team, but look at this. The pets are completely wrong. So when I'm doing this max testing, if I just typed in these heroes, this max testing would be inefficient. The reason being that this is the wrong pet. It's boosting the wrong things. This is boosting health and armor. What I want is I want Kane because this is going to boost dodge and physical attack. Aurora's basic attack is a physical attacking team. This makes Aurora stronger, and it makes her dodge more, so it makes her super annoying. Let's see. Here, I would not use Merlin. I would be using something that does magic attack and armor. So I would probably go with Axel. This is going to make um, Lars a lot more dependable with defense, right, from a physical attacker. Here we want someone with magic attack and magic penetration. This, I mean, Krista hits a lot with her ice attack. So having this specific pet is the move. We're going to keep this armor one. This is a great one for Celeste, right? The default's fine. But here, again, I don't really want physical attack and armor penetration. Or do I? Let's see. Health and armor. Oh, that's fine. I mean, the pets are very important. So when you're setting your teams, the default pets are not always right. So make sure you check on that when you're setting your team. Like, let's say the defensive team, it's super important, makes a huge difference. Not to mention, right now, Ascension is another thing. So you have to bank on your team's Ascension team being at the same level or close to the enemy's Ascension. If the enemy's Ascension is super imbalanced, like, for example, mine's kind of imbalanced. If you look at my team here, my Carc is very, very strong in Ascension. Um, so, yeah, I would say don't worry about it. But yeah, so I think with max testing, don't rely all on max testing. In my opinion, a better way to kind of gauge, and hold on, let me first go back to my tree here. But with my Carc, for example, once this loads, maybe? Yeah, so one like my Carc, right? This is Ascension level 3. My Carc has gotten a lot of stat bonuses, and Carc is my main damage dealer, which is going to be a problem for people who come with Carc, come to my Carc using Envari and have not invested in Envari. I can beat Envari that's uninvested in Ascension now because my Carc has enough boosts in Ascension that he has a lot of health and a lot of almost like armor from Envari, which is crazy. But I've actually beaten Envari related teams using my Carc because Carc is just so strong now with some of these buffs. So that's something to keep in mind. The other thing is just I would go with looking at how the log and seeing how things went previously in last week's matchups to kind of gauge what went wrong and look at the matchup and kind of go from there. If you need help with that, you can send it to me. We can take a look at it at some point, Mr. Big. But I think those are kind of some keys in looking at um, how to mitigate losing in those matchups, right? So even if you do the simulation, the other thing too is simulations, run them more than once. Just because it worked one time doesn't mean that that result will happen every time. Because keep in mind, dodge, for example, very finicky, right? You're not going to dodge the same rate every single time. So make sure you test those teams more than once. Skippy says, just as an internal reminder, the Asgard boss is still waiting for you at Overlord. I'll be on it, Skippy. I have not had a chance to hop on yet today, but I will, promise. Um, let's see. What do you think about my team? Astaroth, Yasmin, Juice, Celeste, Martha. I really like that team, actually. My only concern is what happens when you face someone with Martha, right? Because Martha kind of counters Ju in the respect that Ju can't hit fast enough to get rid of Martha. And then someone has Helios to get rid of your Yasmin. So I would say just have someone on deck, right? If you can, right? Have like a sixth man in case you run across a really hard team that counters your team just by chance. So I love your team, Mahubala. I would just say consider having either I don't know, like Qing Mao or Kira or Kark, someone on deck, like right, just like as a backup attacker, maybe even a Dante, right? Someone as a backup attacker in case some unforeseen situation comes up. Then you can swap someone in and out. But overall, I like that team. I do like that team. Looking at your levels in the Ascension tree, I guess I'm not slow. You're just Prax. I don't think I think it's slow for everyone. I wouldn't. I don't think you're behind by that much, especially if you're doing it regularly. Don't worry about it. Tanya says, I love Ascension, and it is a lot of fun. I agree. Ascension is a lot of fun, for sure. And it's also a little bit of work just because, you got to keep in mind, you got to go back every single day. You got to make sure you do your hits. But I do think it's fun. Plus, they give you a nice little reward every day, right? You do get that one free open, which is nice. And there's a lot of aspects to it. I think the Hall of Fame's fun to look at, super hard to get into, but fun to look at. And I do think that it's a fun one. I do think that Hero Wars could make this run a little smoother with some better engineers, maybe. They just need to work on tweaking the speed, right? Because for whatever reason, some of these run super smooth, right? I click Guild Island, boom, I'm in Guild Island. But Ascension and Asgard, there's a major delay. And for me, this is not necessarily, I mean, yes, it is also partially internet, but it shouldn't be, right? This should be something that coding wise, if you have the right coders and have the right engineers doing it correctly, it should be like instant, like almost like the same as like this or Guild War, right? It took a little bit of time, but it shouldn't be as monumentous in terms of time loading with Asgard. So there's some inefficiency there that I think that could be worked on for sure. But overall, I do like it. Um, So far, I'm spending mine all around, so I know how much you spend on each stage overall. Yeah, that makes sense. How to participate in the picker wheel? Yeah, so uh, Sri Srihari, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. There's two ways. So one is on my YouTube channel. So I have a YouTube holiday giveaway, right? So let me find this. So this is the holiday web contest, right? So this is for web. All you need to do, and this is for Saturdays, so today's Sunday, so it won't be for today, but all you would need to do is put your account ID into the comments here, and you need to sub to the channel and like the video, ideally, and that's kind of how you enter for Saturday contests. There's also a Facebook video. Just look for, one that says December 21 Hero Wars Holiday Facebook Contest, Saturdays. And then for Sundays, all you need to do is go to Discord and put your name into the contest entry right in this area here. And there's a web contest entry as well. So I did tag you here on both of them. So these are for Sundays, which is today. The other thing that you can do, well, since you're here right now, if you tell me which, if you're on Facebook and or on web, tell me which platforms you play on, and I can add you to the picker wheel here since you're here right now. We can do that for today's. You would just need to tell me which platform you're on. So it does reset on the 15th of every month, just because that's how Hero Wars distributes gifts, but that's how you can enter. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have questions, ask in the chat and I'll try to rephrase. What is the counter to Carc? Yes, Sue, great question. A couple of good counters to Carc. I do have a video on it, but a couple of quick counters that I can think of off the top of my head include Envari, right? Let's see, I do have a video on this. Carc counters, here we go. But Satori, the problem with Satori, though, is if Sebastian is on the Carc team, Satori is no longer effective right now on Facebook and web. He kind of becomes useless because his Fox marks don't translate. I'm sorry, YouTube is having some issues loading for me right now. Yes, exactly. Oh, Negro, exactly. But yes, okay, so let's see. Sorry, Sue, I'm reading here. So I do like Elmir's not bad. One of my problems with Elmir is he needs a lot of investment. You need him to be almost on par with Carc. I feel like you're better off using Envari. Another one is Fox. I also would like to show you this video, but it's not loading for me. If it's possible for you, try checking out JFowl YouTube Carc counter. I have a video on it, and I explain kind of in depth the counters to Carc. Oh, let's see. Maybe it's popping up now. There we go. All right, so here we go. So this is my list on countering Carc. My favorite is Envari and Fox. The reason being, both of them confine and constrict Carc. Another decent one now is Maya. Maya's got an upgrade recently, so Maya is also decent, but she's not as high tier as Envari and Fox. Envari and Fox were made to counter Carc. That is literally what the developer said, and so those two are meant to counter Carc. Yasmin right? Assuming no Helios on the Carc team, Yasmin is great. Yasmin moves so fast, Carc can't easily hit her. So that is another option I really like. Ching Mao, phenomenal. Really big Ching Mao fan. Phobos is great for Facebook because of his abilities that have been reworked. Elmir is the next decent option, but again, needs a lot of investment. Orion as well needs a ton of investment. Um, and Satori, I don't really like for Facebook, but I like him for mobile. That's why he has the one star indicates mobile, 2 star indicates Facebook. So that's kind of a quick breakdown. I think I explained it a little bit more in depth if you watch this video, and if you want to see some testing, I do some testing in here. But these are probably my top counters for Carc. I would ignore the Satori one, but I actually think the top 4 here are your best bet. You do need to invest a little bit though, so that's why I think these 3 are really the ones you want to go for because if you invest in them, I'm talking specifically Envari, Yasmin, Ching Mao, they're not a one-size-fit-all. So if you use them with Carc, you can also use them to defeat like Isaac. You can use them to defeat other heroes, and they're not as niche as only Carc. So that's why I really like these 3, Envari, Yasmin, and Ching Mao especially, because they're more universal. You can use them in many situations. So hopefully that answers your question, Sue. Um, so those are a couple things there. Celeste is not bad also, especially if someone's using Astaroth and they're trying to re-heal. Not a bad call, especially with the timing, but it is tough. On web, is Cornelius a good hero against Rufus? I would go with no, Incognito. The reason being that, and here's why. So I say no, but I think it depends. It depends. I'm going to go with typically no, though. And the reason being, if someone's using Rufus, Rufus doesn't usually have the highest intelligence on the team. Why do I care about intelligence, you might ask? So intelligence is really important because that's who Cornelius targets. Cornelius's first skill targets the hero with the highest intelligence. Because Rufus isn't intelligent, he doesn't have the highest intelligence, right? A lot of other heroes have higher intelligence than him. I would say Celeste is a prime example, has probably one of the highest intelligence stats in the game. He's not going to get targeted by this rune attack, which is the first skill, which deals heavy damage. So you need to make sure that Rufus has the highest intelligence on the opposing team. If he does have the highest intelligence, might be a good call. But I'd say 8 times out of 10, 80%, Rufus will not have the highest intelligence on the opposing team, meaning Cornelius is not going to hit him or target him. So that's why I say it's probably not the best move in terms of using Cornelius. I actually really like Iris. I know this is out of the blue. She's a new hero. But Cornelius isn't bad. It's just he won't target Rufus enough, in my opinion, to make it super effective. So it could work. It's just not going to work every time. Does that make sense? Let's see. Hey, Negro. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. My energy is great. Happy to be here. Definitely crushing the game. It's been fun. I've been enjoying Winterfest. Winterfest was awesome. Got some crazy good rewards. Just talking a little bit about different heroes at Ascension, different aspects of the game, and some counters so far. Elmir's a weak counter with his Stand Clone skill. I actually like Elmir if he's, again, you have to have him like super strong. So, they have to be almost on par in terms of power, which a lot of people aren't going to invest in Elmir enough to use him as an effective counter. So, something to think there. And Wally, it looks like Skippy says absolutely in terms of the web guild. Let's see. No other. The third way, compete and win in Mortal Kombat. Yes, absolutely. So you're in web. Okay, so we can put you on there. I'll put you on the Sundays one. If you don't mind finding that video for the Saturdays, actually, you're better off almost waiting for the new video. Let's see. Saturday. I'm trying to think. When is the 15th? 15th is Saturday. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll put you on for Sundays, right? For web, which is today. Then next week we probably won't do rewards that particular week because there's a weird presents re-gifting thing on the 15th. So I won't make any new videos for the new contest until right after that weekend. So I'll put you in for, okay, I'm not going to make this complicated. I'm going to put you in for today. But expect a new video and new contest stuff after next weekend, right? So just a heads up there. Pretty much it runs from the 15th to the 15th of every month, and that's how these contests run. Every 15th to 15th, because that's when I get new rewards. So we will be having, and I'm going to save this right now, web list. So this will be reset in about a week. Just a heads up. So you're good for this week. Next week, we're going to have to figure out something else. But let's go ahead, and since we're talking about the picker wheel, we'll have our 2 Facebook winners and 2 web winners. But let me first look here real quick at Tanya. Tanya saying, Team 1, Jew, Astaroth, Cornelius, Thea, and Sebastian. I like it. A lot of healing. But it's great for countering those magic attack teams, it seems. Team 2, Aurora, Martha, Dante, Yasmin, Elmir. I love your team 2. Your team 1, I really like also. The only thing that I think would be cooler is if you added Isaac in, potentially, depending on the situation for Cornelius. So if you were facing a magic attack team, I think taking out Cornelius, maybe, and putting in Isaac, maybe, could be good. Or you take out Thea. But overall, I like it. I like those teams, Tanya. Very intriguing and not the most status quo. I like it, though. I like it a lot. Yes, Morgan is definitely a counter to Rufus for sure. Yeah, Morgan. Let's see. I have a counter video on Rufus as well, but I don't have Iris on there yet. But yeah, go ahead, guys. If you haven't seen these yet, I do have a section for counters. So, and if you don't see one, just leave a comment on one of them and say, I really need a counter video on this hero. So go to playlists, and here I have hero counter videos. So I've got counters on Isaac, Aurora, Alvinor, how to use Celeste. I don't really talk about counting Celeste, but I can. Maybe I do, because I have her in the section. I don't remember. I got to look. But obviously, Cornelius is great against Celeste. Carc, Rufus, Yasmin, and Astaroth. So if you have a question, just let me know. Say I want a counter video to this hero. I'll make it, and I'll post it in this area. But yeah, check this area out, guys. I do have counter videos here under the counter video playlist. So just check that out if you don't mind for further in-depth explanations. But yeah, Rufus is definitely on here. And let's go ahead and do our wheel. So we got 2 Facebook winners coming today and 2 web winners. For web, I'm kind of low on skin gifts already, which is crazy, but everyone loves those. So just a heads up, I might be giving out some different stuff. But for Facebook, we do have a couple skins left. So just a heads up, we got Abbott Slayer here winning. I totally misspelled that name. I totally know that's a Y. My mistake. I think the letters are kind of close on the keyboard, but we know who won. Abbott Slayer won. Congratulations. I will be messaging you shortly. I think, yeah, that's got to be a typo. My mistake. I apologize. But you did win. Congratulations. Let's see. So that is our first Facebook winner. I will message you right now if you are not here on the stream, which either way is fine. Habit Slayer. Congratulations. Oh, he didn't. Maybe he did change his name. I thought it was Slayer for some reason. Huh. You have been chosen by the Wheel of Fate for Facebook. Please message me when you get a chance. All right, so we got 1 more for Facebook. Then we'll do 2 for web, right? So we will do 2 for web. Let's see what happens here for Facebook. So our second Facebook winner is Ryan D. Ryan D is our second winner. When you have a chance. You have been chosen by the Facebook wheel of Facebook wheel. All right. So there's that. We got that written down. Congratulations to our two winners. We're going to have our two web winners now. And I'm going to open up the web, Sunday's web. Yeah, for Valentine's Day, I don't think you need a whole lot of preparation yet. It's still very early. There isn't anything crazy. Usually with Valentine's Day, they're skin related. So if you can save up, start saving up your skins, that skin coins, that could be good. But nothing crazy just yet. Prax for Facebook. Whoops, I didn't see you there. We'll add you in though. Okay, so you are now in there. And we got our two web winners as well. Let's see. Yes, he meant Morgan Incognito, absolutely. But let's see. Okay, so we got two web winners. Let's see who's going to win here. Best of luck to everyone. Our first winner is Guziel. Congratulations. And I will message them on the Discord. Let's see. So our first winner is Guziel. Let's see, Guziel. Hi, Guzzle. Man, autocorrect having some fun with me here. Please message me when you get a chance. All right, cool. So we messaged him or her. We got one more web winner. Let's see what happens here. Good luck to everyone. So our second web winner is Kicking Dutchman. Kicking Dutchman is our lucky winner. They've got some luck. I think they've won before for sure. But congratulations to them. Kicking Dutchman. All right. Hi, Kicking Dutchman. Please message me when you get a chance. So I guess sometimes luck befalls those. But Tanya, let's see. I'm trying to see. Tanya, you're on web, I believe, right? Let's see. Hero Wars web. Yeah, I'm trying to see here. I think we have enough rewards to potentially give a couple out, if I'm being 100% honest. On web, because a lot of these web rewards, they all want the skin rewards, which is fine. But then I end up getting stuck with a lot of the other rewards. I'm just trying to see. I mean, I could do a big giveaway in the future, but I'm kind of thinking that I do want to reward those of you guys who've been around for a minute. So I was kind of thinking that, I mean, obviously Tanya's been a great supporter of my channel. I'm kind of thinking I want to give her a gift just for being around and just for, to show some appreciation. So I probably will do that here today. I'll probably pick someone, every so often. But, I just have a bunch of rewards on web. So I'm going to just find Tanya's ID here. And I think we're just going to give her a reward because I do have it. Let's see. Just have to find our ID. I can't find it yet, so we'll go through here. I think. Maybe. Let's see if I can find it. And after this, I probably just need to do a couple things on web, and then we will call it a stream. But yes, no, thank you, Tanya, for your constant support. Definitely appreciate it. Happen to have a couple of extra rewards for sure, no problem. Um, I hear you, Incognito. It is a tough one. Tanya, I will have to get back to you. I just need to figure out your ID. If you could just, oh, there we go. That helps a lot. Thank you. I'm gonna give you this one because I think it's a pretty cool one. 121866506, and I think it never hurts to have a couple extra, you know, portal charges. Never hurt anybody, and having some gold bottled energy. So hopefully that helps you out there for sure. Yes, thank you so much, Tanya, for your support to the channel. So you guys much deserved. I'm going to also power up my Isaac here touch because Isaac has been vital. I've been seeing some matchups. Isaac is super important. Need him in my life on web. So we're going to upgrade him. We're going to upgrade a little bit more with Isaac, I think, if we can. Hopefully we're going to try to get, ooh, friendship. Ooh, I like that. The Giant Slayer. So we're going to create the Siege Crossbow, upgrade Isaac once. Yes, I understand, Mr. Big. Don't worry, your day will come eventually for sure. Um, but yes, I do want to thank everyone for their constant support of this channel. I love to give back when I can, and right now I have the reward to do so. So thank you so much, Tanya, Jimmy. You guys rock. Thank you to everyone who's been around so much. You know, I mean, we got Incognito, of course. We got Wally, Prax, Srahiri. Thanks for coming in today. Sue, always a pleasure. Skippy, thanks for having me in your guild, buddy. Much appreciated. And shout out, right? Got a shout out, obviously, Reapers, whose guild I'm in on server 35 on Facebook, but also we have our guild here on web that I'm in, which is called, and I don't want to say it wrong, right? I'm pretty sure it's called Overlord, and it is Overlord. So shout out to us on server 22 and web. So thank you guys so much for your support. Obviously, we got Mr. Big, we got a bunch of others, Mr. Bitey. The list goes on, but I want to thank all of you guys so much for your support. And with that being said, guys, I will see you guys next week, and we will have a live stream then. So thank you, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week in Dominion.